Tonight, we all come together to mark 65 years of passion and performance. And frankly, nothing makes the heart beat faster than the sight and sound of a Chevrolet Corvette. Isn't that something?
Tonight, we truly begin something that I believe is a new era for Corvette right here in the Middle East. Introducing to the world the 2019 Corvette ZR1.
Thank you very much and good evening. Well, as you can see, the rumors are true. The Corvette ZR1 is back, and it's better than ever.
Now, this incredible ZR1 is the result of close collaboration between design and engineering teams, creating a synergy between form and function, optimizing the power and the handling into a beautiful Corvette supercar.
Corvette is iconic. There is absolutely no question. It's known around the world. And tonight, you know, the ZR1 is the pinnacle. And when you look at the hood and you look at the engine, you have to smile. And so it's a very exciting evening for us.
I think what makes it iconic is, first of all, there's a character to Corvette. It has incredibly voluptuous shapes and forms, all driven by sculpture.
ZR1's always been kind of the top of the heap in terms of performance, and we've evolved it into not just the best performance, but the best all-around car.
We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone of a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. We have neither the time nor the inclination to explain ourselves to a man who rises and sleeps under the very blanket of the freedom that we provide and then questions the manner in which we provide it. We would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. You don't want the truth. Because deep down at places you don't talk about at parties, you want us on that road. You need us on that road. You don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
When we started out to build a Demon, we didn't start out to compete with anyone else in the industry. We started out working from our background and being the best version of what we could be, because we are completely different. We are not trying to be a sports car. We are not trying to be a pony car. We're trying to be a street strip muscle car, and there's no one else in that space. We decided very early on in the project that the key to success on this car was going to be the last tenth. And I don't mean the tenth of a second in the quarter mile. I mean that last tenth of effort that was going to push you beyond an interesting stat into a stat that had never been done before. I mean, you start at the top of the list, drag radials. No one's ever put drag radials on a car. They've been available in the marketplace, but they've never been put on a production car. That's a first that we're very proud of. Transmission. No one has ever put a trans brake in a production car. No one has used the air conditioning system to cool the intercoolers. The Demon engine is all new. It's not a tuned-up version of our Hellcat engine. The only part that carries over is the cylinder head. We deck-honed the block, which is something you see on high-end race car engines. New crankshaft, new connecting rods, new pistons, new camshaft, all new valve train, and a new, larger 2.7-liter supercharger. So all of those things that make it a dedicated drag car, all of those things that make it awesome on the strip, you can completely modify. You can make this car as comfortable or as crazy as you want it to be. The two most common questions I get on Demon: number one, why'd you build a car like this? And the second question after that, how much horsepower does it have? And I always tell everybody, I'll tell you the horsepower, it's amazing, but I want to explain to you the full performance package and everything that that horsepower enables. I'm going to walk you through a virtual run of what it's like to drive a Demon. You strap yourself into a 4-point harness, take your red key, fire up the most powerful V8 production engine ever put in a car. put your car into drag mode. Once you go into drag mode, your suspension is already pre-calibrated for maximum lift off the starting line. Activate your line lock. Start spinning your drag radials. Get them hot and sticky, over 200 degrees. You literally have dripping rubber off of your tires. You creep to the starting line. Adrenaline is flowing. Your pre-stage, you're 7 inches away from launching this car. Trans brake, check. Torque reserve, check. Yellow, 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 green, launch. You leave the starting line at 1.8 Gs, harder than any car has ever accelerated off the starting line. That force puts a ton of weight on the rear end of this car, forcing the front end up in the air. It pulls a wheelie. First gear, second gear, 0 to 30 in 1 second. Third gear, you're now at 60 miles an hour in 2.3 seconds. Fourth gear, 5.1 seconds, you're doing 100 miles an hour. Now things are starting to settle in. You're really getting into this time warp and things are happening so fast. You're getting close to the end of the track. You're now doing 140 miles an hour as you cross the finish line in 9.65 seconds. You have just driven this production car faster than any production car has ever finished the quarter mile. So fast, in fact, that after the NHRA certified that time, they banned it from competition. And it took 840 horsepower and 770 pound-feet of torque to do that. Being banned from the NHRA with this car at first sounds like a negative, but reality is it's really huge street credibility for this car. Even the National Hot Rod Association says you've pushed too far. You've done too much. You've broken a record that's not supposed to be broken in a production car. To me, that letter's a badge of honor.
It's not often you're given the chance to start fresh, where you're free to challenge the way things are in pursuit of the way things ought to be. Where design is not determined by history, but driven by the promise of something bigger. Where you have the room to explore, the ambition to create, and the will to transform. Knowing that wherever you land today is just the beginning of where you'll one day go. That is the beauty of starting new. When you're no longer bound by convention, you're free to define your own experience. At Lucid, we are reimagining luxury mobility, combining forward-looking design with groundbreaking technology, allowing us to transform how we use energy, space, and time to establish an entirely new class of vehicle. This is an experience without compromise.
From the very beginning, we wanted Lucid to explore what an entirely new luxury experience could be. Not bound by legacy technologies like the internal combustion engine, and not bound by the tradition of the automobile. That way, we could really focus on the future. We could take a new look at cutting-edge technologies we feel will expand the luxury experience and how we think about mobility. We focused on how we could transform the space both inside the vehicle as well as the space the vehicle takes up in the world around us.
The inspiration for the Lucid Air was drawn from the travel experience of an executive jet, and the key enabler for that is the miniaturization of the electric powertrain. A traditional car has much of its space occupied by the internal combustion engine. If you replace those traditional components with an electric driveline and batteries, you can open up a lot more space for the occupants. You can effectively reduce the height and the length of the vehicle whilst increasing the interior space. The consequence is a product which is truly disruptive in its nature, spanning a whole range of traditional products. No longer has the customer to choose between a traditional segment. The customer can have optimal experience in a single vehicle. With a significantly smaller exterior footprint, the Lucid Air offers even greater interior space than a competitor's largest class-leading sedans. The Lucid Air is a vehicle without compromise, one that has incredible performance, dynamic and emotional styling, yet still offers enough space and comfort for a sublime luxury experience.
PO21 to high-speed unit, track is clear, 10 minutes to go. You are a go. High-speed unit confirmed at 17 miles per hour.
Meine Damen und Herren, hier ist das erste Hypercar von Mercedes-Benz. Hier ist der Mercedes-AMG Project One.
We have the 1.6-liter V6 combustion engine directly from the Formula One. We do have 4 electric motors. Battery technology is really straight out of the Formula One car. 0 to 200 underneath of 6 seconds, so it's a very exciting moment for us.
So happy to be here, so proud of what Mercedes has created here. It's its history.
It's the pinnacle of technology, what you can do as of now, but it will inspire the future of standard cars as well. Is there anything comparable? No.
With every step in our history, we challenge the limit. One day, we'll go further than ever before. streets. One day has just begun.
So it turns out there was some cargo in the truck. There's some cargo in the truck. We thought we'd bring it out. We started Tesla. We started Tesla with a sports car, with Tesla Roadster. So that baby got us going. It was the foundation of the whole company. It was the Tesla Roadster. People have asked us for a long time, when are you going to make a new Roadster? We are making it now. And you know, there's I don't know if you've watched Spaceballs movie, but there's only one thing that's beyond ludicrous, which is plaid. And this is the base model. Okay, this is the base model. We're going to talk about things beyond base maybe next year sometime. This is the base model. The base model will do 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. Okay. That is the fastest. This will be the first time that any car has broken 2 seconds at 0 to 60. It'll be the fastest to 100 miles an hour. 4.2 seconds to 100 miles an hour. Faster than that jet over there. Okay. It'll do the quarter mile in 8.9 seconds. This will be the first time that any car has broken 9 seconds. Any production car has broken 9 seconds in a quarter mile. Okay. These are all world records. Okay. This is what we're achieving in the prototype. I wouldn't say what the actual top speed is, but it's above 250 miles an hour. The range, this is going to have a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack. So these numbers sound nutty, but they're real. 620 mile range, that's a 1,000 kilometer range. This will be the first time an electric vehicle breaks 1,000 kilometers. A production electric vehicle will travel more than 1,000 kilometers in a single charge at highway speed. But you'll be able to travel from LA to San Francisco and back at highway speed without recharging. The point of doing this is to just give a hardcore smackdown to gasoline cars. Driving a gasoline sports car is going to feel like a steam engine with a side of quiche. This thing will have 3 motors, so it's all-wheel drive. 1 motor in the front, 2 on the rear. We're able to do torque steering. As I said, 200 kilowatt hour battery pack, 10,000 newton meters of torque. If you know what that means, it's just stupid. It's also a 4-seater. Yeah. So it's a 2 plus 2. Okay, you can't put giant people in the rear seat, but you will put, okay, a giant person squashed or a small person fit in the back. But it's a 4-seater. It's not like this is 4 seats. It's convertible, so it's a removable roof. And it has tons of storage. So you'll be able to actually travel somewhere, bring luggage, bring whatever you want, and have plenty of storage. Carry 4 people. Like it's a real car. It's not just crammed in. So it has all that functionality with 4 seats. Yeah.